Hello students and welcome to the lecture. So students, as we know that we are covering the municipalities, okay? And basically these are the topics that we have scheduled for the discussion under this particular series. Like starting with the introduction part, thereafter the evolution of urban bodies, thereafter the 74th Amendment Act of 1992, thereafter the types of urban governments, thereafter the municipal personnel, thereafter the municipal revenue, and thereafter the Central Council of Local Government. Okay, so basically you can say that these are the topics we have scheduled. Out of this, we have done with the introduction part, we have done with the evolution of urban bodies, we have been covering the 74th Amendment Act of 1992 since last few lectures, and the topics we are completely left with is the types of urban government, municipal personnel, municipal revenue, and the Central Council of Local Government. So that is the picture that we have created so far altogether. So basically we will continue in this lecture from where we had left in the previous one. I hope that you have revised the previous lecture in the well enough manner before you have come for this lecture. As many times I have told you, that is for your own benefit. So if you are not doing this, the things will be not so much grateful for you while you are giving your examination. That is very, very clear and the fair warning. So let's continue with the topic. All right. So basically we have discussed about the State Election Commission. Okay. That is responsible for conducting the elections at the municipalities. Right. That is what we have discussed. Thereafter, we have discussed the powers and the functions which are basically granted by the state legislature. Okay. And thereafter, what we have discussed, that basically we were discussing about the finances. Like I had told you, and basically we had read together, not I had told you. And what was that? When we talk about the municipalities, okay, whenever we talk about it, there is a one thing which is very, very common. Like municipalities, basically having their foundation in the urban local government. Okay, municipalities basically having their foundation in the urban local government, and basically this is the self-government. Right? And we know that if there is anybody which is required to govern some particular area, the most required thing here is that the revenue. Until or unless the government not having the revenue sources, they won't be able to govern the area because they were not in a position to provide the facilities. Right? That's the main cause. So that's why municipalities are basically has to be empowered with the finances. Okay, so that their independence, or you can say their dependence on the state finances would be reduced. Okay, so basically if we talk about the finance, then the state legislatures basically provided the financial autonomy to the municipalities. Like they could authorize a municipality to levy, collect and appropriate taxes, duties, tolls and fees. All right. So basically here is one thing which I was thinking about to tell you. Like if we talk about this one, once we were talking about the Panchayati Raj institutions, and now we are talking about the municipalities. The appropriation of taxes common, okay, in both of us. So the main question is like, what does it mean? Like what is the meaning of appropriation of taxes? What do we mean by this? Let's understand it. So basically if we talk about the formal definition, like the basic definition of appropriation of taxes. The basic definition. Then what is this? Basically, it is implementing and collecting taxes under specific divisions along with income tax. Implementing and collected taxes under specific divisions along with income tax. So what is the example of this? Let's suppose if someone is having the income of rupees 10,000, it is said that basically on rupees 10,000 the tax is 10%, for example. Okay, and this is the which kind of tax? This is an income tax. Okay, so how much tax is to be you can say collected? The tax to be collected is rupees 1,000, because rupees 1,000 would be the 10,000 of the 10% of the 10,000. That is the thing. Okay, now suppose if says, what do you mean by says? I will tell you in the lecture of budget. Till then, just remember that says is an additional taxes, okay, which oftenly implemented along with some other tax. Like here we have took the example of income tax. So suppose the government has released a notification and they said along with the 10% of the income tax, 2% cess is to be collected. Okay, so what is the total percentage of tax right now? 12%. Okay, 12% is the total percentage of tax. So how many tax is to be collected? 1200. Now the new tax would be collected as 1200. Okay, here comes the question of appropriation of taxes. All right, implementing and collecting taxes under specific divisions along with income tax. Like if we look at here, so total tax we have collected from the person who was having the income of rupees 10,000 is 1200. But is 1200 the income tax? No, the income tax was only 1,000. So it means the additional 200 is the cess. Okay, that is called the appropriation of taxes. It means that it would be collected along with the income tax, but it would be divided under the specific division like cess. Okay, so that is called the appropriation of taxes. So this is the power granted with the municipalities, like they could implemented the cess and the other tax along with the tax which are already implemented by the state government. Okay, and basically when the tax will be collected, the specific division would be handed over to the municipalities and the remaining tax would be handed over to the state finances. Okay, so that is the appropriation of taxes. I hope now you have got it. Thereafter, assigned to a municipalities the tax, the duties, the tolls and the fees levied and collected by the state government. Okay, like it is a share. All right, thereafter provide for making grants in aid to the municipalities from the consolidated fund of the state and provide for the constitution of funds for crediting all money of the municipalities. Okay, so that is the finances. Now what is the finance commission? What is the finance commission? The finance commission, which is constituted for the panchayat, shall also for every 5 years review the financial position of municipalities and make recommendations to the government. Like you can say, when we were discussing about the panchayati systems, we had discussed about the finance commission. Like every 5 years The Finance Commission is appointed by the state governor, and the role of Finance Commission is to check out the financial condition of the panchayat and then make the recommendation to the governor, and governor will present it to the state legislature. Okay, the similar Finance Commission would be also appointed for the municipalities. So here you could say that the State Finance Commission would be appointed for two things: for Panchayati Raj as well as for municipalities. Okay, it would be appointed for two things, but only the one entity, which is the governor, he will appointed the State Finance Commission. Okay, that's the thing. So which kind of recommendations they could make? First, the principles that should govern the distribution between the state and the municipalities of the net proceed of the taxes, duties, tolls and fees levied by the state, and allocation of shares amongst the municipalities at all levels. Like we know what do you mean by the net proceeds. I have told you many times. Okay, that is the answer we got from subtracting the total amount collecting with the total expenditure. Then we got the net proceed. Okay, that's the thing. Thereafter, the determination of the taxes, duties, tolls and fees that may be assigned to the municipalities, like what are the taxes, what are the duties, what are the tolls and the fees that could be assigned to the municipalities so that their institution could be empowered. Okay, the grants in aids to the municipalities from the Constituent Fund of India, like how much it should be. Thereafter, the measures needed to improve the financial position of the municipalities, like what are the measures the municipalities could appoint it so that the financial position could be improved. Not municipalities, basically the state legislature just collect it. Okay, any other method referred to it by the governor in the interest of sound finance of the municipalities. Okay, the governor shall place the recommendations of the commission along with the action taken report before the state legislature. The Central Finance Commission shall also suggest the measures needed to augment the Constituent Fund of State to the supplement of the resources of the municipalities in the state on the basis of the recommendations made by the Finance Commission of the state. All right. Thereafter, what is the provision for audit of accounts? Okay, but here is the meaning. Like, what is the meaning of auditing? And what is the meaning of inspection? The question is, what is the meaning of auditing and what is the meaning of inspection? What do you mean by this? So if we go by the simple definition of both, like first is the inspection. Okay, the review and checking of actions to match them with the plan objectives. Okay, that is the meaning of inspection in the simple term. When we talk about auditing, the review and checking of books to match revenue and expenditure and find out financial health of the organization. So that is the meaning of inspection and that is the meaning of auditing. Okay. Like if we talk about the inspection, it is the review and checking of actions to match them with the plan objectives. Suppose there is a plan that someone has made. For example, okay, there is a group of 5 people and they had made a plan. Okay. So it is a responsibility to the inspector that he will look after the actions. What are the actions have been taken by the other members? Are these actions as per the plan or not? If they are not as per the plan, so there will be a measures to be taken for the improvement. If they are up to the plan, then the things will be go smoothly. Thereafter, if we talk about the auditing, so it is the review and checking of books to match the revenue and expenditure and find out the financial health of the organization. For example, suppose there is a municipality of city XYZ, for example. Okay. They had claimed that they had made the expenditure of 20 lakhs and generated a revenue of 25 lakhs. So the expenditure is less in comparison with the revenue. So what will be the remark? That this is a sound finance condition. Okay. But that is only the claim which has been made by the municipality of XYZ. Okay. How the actual picture will be come out? When the audit would be organized. Okay. Because in audit, all the revenue sources will be studied, all the expenditure sources will be studied. Okay. All their digits will be matched with the receipt and with the bills. Okay. Like they are saying the expenditure is only 20 lakhs. Okay. Then the bills will be audit. Like what are the bills? Okay. What is the total amount showing in the bills? Thereafter, if they are claiming that they had made the revenue 25 lakhs, so all the receipt will be checked. Is the amount which they are claiming is right or not? Okay. That is the thing. So suppose after the audit, it would come out that the expenditure was not 20 lakhs, but the 25 lakhs. And the revenue was not 25 lakhs, but the 20 lakhs. So now you can say that the total picture has been reversed. They were claiming that they expended 20 lakhs, earned 25 lakhs. But actual picture after the auditing, which came out, says that 25 lakhs have been expended and 20 lakhs have been earned. So instead of sound finance, it is a conduction of loss. Okay. Like on paper, the municipality claiming sound finance, but on ground, the municipality is under the loss. The municipality is under the loss. Okay. So to highlight this picture and to know the exact picture of the ground, the auditing is required. So that's why the audit of accounts provision had been provided under the 74th Amendment Act of 1992. The state legislature may make provision with respect to the maintenance of accounts by the municipalities and the auditing of such accounts. Like auditing could only be happen if the maintenance of account is done properly. All right, and you could understand it by the example. Suppose this is you, okay, this is your shop, you are running it. All right, so if you are just making the expenditure, you are just earning the revenue, all right, but you are not maintaining it somewhere. All right, you are just calculating in your mind, okay, you are just written it down somewhere. All right, so what do you think? Would you be able in the month end or after the some period of time when you will want to check out your stability in the financial terms, would you be able to calculate the things? Never, because you will not have the authentic records. You will never have the authentic records. So that's why it is necessary then the expenditure must be maintained along with bills to know the correct amount. Similarly, the revenues will be maintained along with revenue, and how you would organize it, that is totally depend upon your auditing method. What is your auditing method? Got it? That's the thing. So that's why it is the responsibility of the state legislature that might be or maybe they provided the provision for the maintenance of accounts, the manner, okay, in which the accounts would be maintained. As per the manners, the auditing methods would be provided. Okay, that's the thing. Thereafter, application to the UTs, because we know that the union territories does not comes under any state government, but they are directly comes under the administrative control of central government. Okay, so what are the application to the union territories? The provision of this part applicable to the union territories, but the president may direct they would apply to a union territory subject to some exceptions and modification as he may specify. Like you can say the provisions are not different as per the act. Okay, the act does not provide separate provisions for the union territories. But it is actually depend upon the President of India. He could provide it for some exceptions and even could provide it for some modifications. Okay, so it is totally depend upon him. All right. Thereafter, the exempted areas and the district planning committee. But I think that we do not have a sufficient time to think about it. We will talk about it in the next lecture. So students, basically we could say that in this lecture we have talking about the somewhere about the auditing, inspection, the appropriation of taxes, the finance commission and all. Okay, so we have discussed some valuable points here and we will continue from here in the next lecture. Till then, just revise the facts and figures that all we have discussed in this lecture and be ready for the next lecture. Okay, with this note, let's end this lecture, and what we say thank you.